But we've been talking about this NFL issue with the lack of black coaches and front office executives. And I'm going to be honest. I think it's the elephant in the room that a lot of people don't want to say publicly, particularly whites, because obviously the backlash would be crazy. But I'm just wondering, behind closed doors, do white executives say or think when we talk about not hiring black coaches and front office executives in representatives numbers? Is there a feeling of, well, what else are we going to do?
Hold on. Now let me say this.
Well, can I finish the thought?
Okay. I just want.
The league, you can't help but look at the field and see that it's 70% African American in a country that's made up 13% African Americans. And now African Americans are playing quarterback. And many of the best ones, not all for sure, because you got Joe Burrow and others, but many of the best young ones are African Americans. Many of the quarterbacks in college, where we obviously get our pool of quarterbacks from, are African Americans. So is there some feeling among some whites saying this is the domain we can dominate or we can have, because we're not there on the field anymore for the most part? And I just wonder if there is any of that thinking that is hindering black coaches. I'm certainly not defending it, because it's wrong, because blacks in becoming dominant in basketball, in football, have not done so by holding other people back. They haven't done so by cheating. But the white dominance of American society was done by holding other people back and cheating. Let's just call it cheating through slavery and oppression and things like that. And so that they're not comparable. So I'm not justifying it. It's wrong. But I wonder, is there some of that thinking going on?
Now, the reason that I wanted to jump in when I did was because what you're saying is exactly what Jimmy the Greek said when he was fired from
Did he
CBS.
say that?
Yes, Chris,
I remember he said that.
But you were thinking of the big
the slavery,
black being bred with the other big black. That's what he said about breeding the athletes.
Right, in slavery.
Okay, so this is what was that when he got fired?
It was
1988?
Yeah, around there.
Right?
Yeah, late 80s.
In the 80s.
I was in college.
Yeah, Jimmy the Greek was 70 years old at the time. Okay, you ready? Chris, let me read this quote. And so it's interesting that you say that. And this is the quote, part of it. Here it is. He said, quote, they've, talking about black people, they've got everything. If they take over coaching like everybody wants them to, there's not going to be anything left for white people, Chris. That was a quote. Jimmy the Greek Schneider that's his exact quote.
He's justifying, he's saying what I said was right.
From 1988.
Right.
So you're asking the question now, and
is
remember,
that thinking still prevalent?
Yes. As the NFL.
I didn't know he said that.
I know.
Now that you say it,
right?
It does
ring a bell.
Yeah, but you're right. The other quote got the bigger comment.
Right, about bread, because the other thing was
during slavery.
Yeah, he said the black is a better athlete to begin with because he's been bred that way because of the high thighs that go up into his back. I mean, he went into what was he talking? I know he had a couple of cocktails, Chris.
Look, breeding was a part of slavery.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying, like, to bring that up in the situation he was in, he really put his foot in it. Right. But anyway, so Jimmy the Greek talked about it.
Well, okay, so Jimmy the Greek would lend credence, and I'm just throwing it out there.
No, I know. I'm giving you ammo.
Jimmy the Greek is right. So what do you think there is some of that thinking?
I think that there is some but this is the part that's weird to me. The NBA has a higher percentage of black players than the NFL, yet this isn't the same issue. Like I'm not saying that at all times they've had a lot of black coaches.
They've been up and down because they just hired about several black coaches within the last year or two.
Right, but it was down.
And it was low, right.
But still, Chris,
it's gone through ebbs and flows.
You're going with Bill Russell was the first black coach, right? In the 60s. But in the 60s.
Right. Late 60s.
Art Shell's the first black coach in the NFL in the 90s.
80s.
What was it?
89.
89, 90.
Yep,
right, that's what I was thinking.
Yep.
Think about that.
No, you're right.
So
the
I'm trying to
NBA
figure
has
out,
definitely been better than football.
And it's blacker, and yet people were more accepting of black executives, GMs.
Although they don't have as many black executives as they need.
And I think if how many black GMs have won a championship? Is it 2 now?
In the NBA?
Because it's Joe Dumars was the first, and Toronto's
Masai Ujiri.
Right. Am I right?
Is that it? I'm trying to run through the
as a GM, I'm almost positive, Chris, those are the only 2. I know Joe was the first one.
I had not thought about it, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
I know Joe was the first one.
That might be, because was Wayne Embry? He wasn't the GM when Milwaukee won it?
I don't think so.
Because he was the first black GM. It might have been a year or 2 later.
Right. I don't think he was.
When Milwaukee won it with Lou Alcindor.
Because Bob Watson is the same with the Yankees, the first black GM to win a championship.
He's the first black GM in baseball?
He never got the
credit to me that he deserved.
And Chris, I'm going to tell you that team that won in 96, he made late season trades. All of them paid off. Yes. It wasn't like
he did a great job.
He just had guys, and he's the general manager of the Yankees. Of course they won. No, he made like 2 or 3 really good, smart trades at the end of that season.
And didn't he? But again, he doesn't get the love that a Cashman gets.
No, and he got into it with George. Okay. So that's how he got fired. Once you pick a fight with George, it's a wrap.
Right.
All right, but anyway, so the NBA, I don't understand why the NFL is it the last bastion? Half of the college players are white, half right in college football.
Right.
Yet the NFL is 70 because some of those guys don't have the speed to be able to play. It's a lot of it. Football's about the speed. They just can't keep up.
Well, whites are playing football, and I would be honest. We do have some great white receivers in the league now. And you've always had some. Fred Biletnikoff.
There's always been.
Steve Largent. But, Cooper Kupp, Hunter Renfrow.
Who's the guy in Minnesota? I'm thinking.
Adam Thielen.
Thielen is another one.
So some of the top receivers, and I look at that like they're stepping up. You got to just step up and be better, and they're doing it.
But why hasn't that happened in basketball? My
personal opinion,
because they're white kids. Like when they play
from Europe, they coming over here balling.
Yeah, but that's different because they have a different mentality. The white kids here, when they would play, and I've talked to people about this. When they would play an all-black team, even though they were good, they would automatically assume that they couldn't beat them.
That's a natural human instinct because you look at the NBA in college and you see it's the black kids dominating. So you're going to feel that. What I say to white American, like parents, if your kid's into basketball, get them playing at a young age with black kids.
Right.
Like if your kid's just out in the suburbs, all white suburbs, he's never playing against black kids, he may be intimidated. So in the summers, or even bring your team, AAU games,
bring them downtown or whatever.
Get them playing against the black kids because even I noticed this when I played in high school and stuff, the speed of the game is faster and you got to get your shot off faster. You drive to the lane, you got to get it off quick, so you have to get used to doing that. But I'd say, Rob, in Europe, I think the emphasis is on skills.
Right.
Luka Doncic isn't all that athletic. Nikola Jokic isn't all that athletic.
But that's skills.
The skills. And I think in America, until recently, the emphasis has been on athleticism. And that's where the whites have struggled with that. So I would say emphasize skills. Look at Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, John Stockton, Chris Muller. We can go on and on. Skills.